Welcome.
Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the Norwegian coast. My name is Magnus and we're on the Hurtigruten ship MS Hvitt in Norway, in Bergen, capital of the west coast of Norway. I figured this was a great day to start this video to try and document what has been known as the most beautiful sea voyage in the world. And I work on this ship and I've been working here for the past 2 years. And this is my final voyage. So, last chance to document this, think about what I've learned, and share this amazing journey. It's been an adventure, and hopefully we're going to have a good cruise this time as well. On the Hurtigruten journey. And part of my job, I think I've got the best job on board, is to make a video for all the guests. So I film and I edit something and show them like a little clip every day from the day before, and then turn it into one long film at the end of the journey. So that means I can quite easily just sneak ashore to go and get some footage, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And we are in a place called Urke. And this is hidden in the fjord, close to a place called Ålesund. So we're on west coast of Norway, the big fat part, and that's where all the fjords are. So this is actually the only day where we sail into a proper fjord, because we're a coastal cruise. We're going along the coast all the way up north, hiding behind lots of islands, and we see beautiful scenery and loads of huge mountains. But the only day that we actually go into a fjord is today. Look at this guy. I've been working on this ship for 2 years, and I'm what they call a nature culture guide. There's a bit of guiding in there, take people out for hikes and just generally be visible on the boat to speak to the passengers and tell them about things we're passing by, etc. But the position is officially a lecture position. So I give talks on topics related to the Norwegian coast. I'm supposed to be a Norway expert, which is funny because I wasn't at the beginning of this whole thing. It's been a big learning process, like how the hell do fjords work? That's an important part of Norway, and a bit of geology, and just Norwegian history even. I've learned so much about this country from a sort of bookish perspective, but then of course just sailing along the coast, like Ålesund, where we are now. I'd never been here, and so many places along the coast. Even though I come from a sailing family, I've done quite a lot of sailing up and down the coast. But never been in the in the north in the winter time. So a great adventure and sort of education, deep dive into my own native country. It is going to be bittersweet to not have this kind of office view anymore, that's for sure. Cathedral, and that means that we are on day 3 in Trondheim. That's sort of the last, this is our only main stop today, and this is our last point. We call it Midt-Norge, Middle Norway, before we're properly up in the north. And this is it's a beautiful city, big student town, 3rd largest city in Norway, and with a lot of history. Nidaros, that's the old Viking name. This was founded by the Viking king Olav Tryggvason. And the cathedral here is built upon the grave of Olav den Hellige, Olav the Holy. And he's the guy who, well, made Christianity the only legal religion in the land in Norway about 1,000 years ago, roughly. And that wasn't popular among everyone, so he was killed at the Battle of Stiklestad. One of his rivals slayed him. He was buried here, and then all kinds of miracles started happening, so he was turned into a saint. Then they decided that we have to build a cathedral upon his grave. And that was the first saint that we had up here in the north, and sort of marks, well, the beginning of, well, the Christian age up here in the north. And then Norway was able to communicate and trade with the rest of Europe as part of as part of Christendom, as it were. So you've got a lot of pilgrim action going on up here, and an archbishop until the Reformation under the Danish crown. When all of the church lands were taken away, archbishop was thrown out, and that was the end of that. Day 4, and that means we've just crossed the Arctic Circle, the globe monument. So 66 degrees, 33 minutes north. So this marks the area where north of this imaginary circle in the summertime you have at least 24 hours of midnight sun. In the wintertime, at least 24 hours of Arctic night. So now we're properly in the Arctic. So on Hurtigruten these days, we have a lot of passengers who are here for a cruise, basically, doing the whole 12 days. But we are originally, a postal ship and ferry for local Norwegians. So we've been running for 132 years along the coast, and solved a problem, what used to be a huge problem, that you had no connection between northern Norway and further down in the south. So if you wanted to send a letter in the wintertime, for example, it would take you several months. So that's what Hurtigruten has done, and therefore we have loads of small stops, just small ports that otherwise have no connection, no way of getting to the larger cities. So today we still stop by all of those small ports, which is kind of the main thing that makes this so different from a regular cruise. I mean, we have large cruise ships going along the coast, but they pretty much only stop at the large ports, and they don't get to see all of the cool secret treasures that we have along the coast. Check this out. Not the worst thing to go to bed to. Lofoten Islands at the moment. Today I gave a German lecture about the history of Norway. Über der nächste Berge in einen anderen Fjord rein gab es noch einen anderen König und ein anderen Königreich im Norden. Jetzt ist Annematte hier mit deiner Kamera. Macht mich ein bisschen nervös. Ja, genau. Lachen Sie bitte jetzt, als ob ich etwas sehr, sehr Lustiges gemacht hätte. Dankeschön, das ist toll. And that's one of my favorite things about this job, because I love language learning. And when I applied for this, it said must speak fluent German. But apparently they were quite desperate, because I didn't speak a word of German, but I applied and basically said, I will learn German. I'll make an effort if you take me in. So then I started pretty intensively. And people have such goodwill when they see that you're actually trying and struggling. So basically I view it as a free German lesson, to be able to stand there trying to formulate my thoughts. I say something wrong, they will help me. And really the key thing I've learned is that you have to begin with meaning. Don't worry about saying it correctly, getting the phrasing right, even using the right words or grammar. Throw that out the door. You can make up words. You can use body language. You can throw in an English word. As long as you get the meaning across, that's the most important thing. And importantly, you need to know what you're trying to say. Because if you start writing down, now we have great Google Translate stuff and you can actually give yourself a script. If you start reading a script, it's so obvious when you don't know the meaning of what you're reading. And there's nothing more painful and boring than watching someone read something they have no idea what means. That's probably the main thing that I'll miss from Hurtigruten, is that interaction every day and being able to practice. But I'm leaving here with another language you can say and an understanding of a whole new culture. Who would have thought that you start working for a company cruising the Norwegian coast and you almost learn more about German people than you do Norway. So that's been cool. Very good. Are you ready? Aye. Very good. As I walked out one morning fair, heave away, haul away, I chanced to meet Miss Nancy Blair. I'm bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away, haul away, you'll hear me sing. I'm bound for South Australia. I shook her up, I shook her down. Heave away, haul away, I shook her round and round and round. I'm bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away, haul away, you'll hear me sing. I'm bound for South Australia. I wish I was on a lonesome strand. Heave away, haul away, with rum and whiskey all in hand. I'm bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away, haul away, you'll hear me sing. I'm bound for South Australia. Two old women lying in the sand. Heave away, haul away, oh, each one wishing that the other was a man. I'm bound for South Australia. Alright, it's day 5 and we are in Tromsø, capital of the Arctic, Paris of the North. This is also the port where I usually get on the ship and get off. and it's a lovely place. This is like the one proper or big city that we have up in northern Norway, but a beautiful place. It's quite small. Got like show you around. All away, you rolling king.
Heave away, all the way.
All away, yo, hear me sing.
Never bound for South Australia.
Oh, when we wallop around Cape Horn.
Heave away, all the way.
You wish to Christ you'd never been born. Now, just a couple of minutes away from the boat, we have Tromsø Main Street. And Tromsø is actually a great city for nightlife because all the bars are basically just along this one street, so you can just walk from bar to bar. And of course, in the summertime, we're in the land of midnight sun. So at the moment it's the 21st of May, and we already have midnight sun now all the way until 20-something of July. So that's quite a special thing to experience. Yesterday we sailed through Lofoten Islands, and today we've cruised right along here from Harstad, past Finnsnes, Straumfjord, and here we are, Tromsø.
We're bound for South Australia.
All away, you rolling king.
Heave away, all the way.
All away, yo, hear me sing.
And we're bound for South Australia.
Yeah, boy!
Have you ever seen the captain's daughter? Have you ever seen the captain's daughter? Have you ever seen the captain's daughter early in the morning? Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. That's what we do with a drunken sailor, that's what we do with a drunken sailor, that's what we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning.
Day 6, and we have docked at the little fishing village of Honningsvåg on an island called Magerøya. And then if you drive a bus for about 40 minutes over the island, you get to the North Cape Plateau, which is where we are now. And if you just continue in this direction, you get to the North Pole. It's day 7 on Hurtigruten, and that means it's turning around day. We reached Kirkenes, which is the end point right by the Russian border all the way up in the north. And then some people get off, other people get on, and then we do it all again. And then we started sailing back, and we had to stop at Vardø, which is the southern, no it isn't, it's the easternmost point of Norway, right there on the Barents Sea, and you can literally see over to some Russian islands from Vardø. which is what we have. Vardø's right over there. And now we're making our way over the top of Norway again, coming back down. And it's just absolutely spectacular weather. And just looking for whales, actually. We haven't seen any whales yet, but this is proper whale country. Look at this. So it's day 8 and we've made a short stop in Hammerfest, known as the northernmost town in Norway, northernmost town in the world, what they claim. Ooh. And quite a lot of reindeer just roaming around the streets. This is the local high school I'm at the moment. What the ship's like, so a small ship tour. Here we are in lecture hall number 1, basically. This is my realm, the expedition team where I work. So every day we have lectures here. We have like a daily gathering thing where we talk about where we are, what's happening the next day. We teach them some Norwegian and things about Norwegian culture, etc. So this is pretty much where the magic happens. Behind here is where the reception is, and expedition team, where my colleagues sell excursions and stuff like that. But because we don't have a lot of space, this is my office. Do you guys vill dere være på YouTube? Here we have the lovely apprentices in the reception. This is a bistro area and a la carte restaurant. Yeah, this is off of the blog, where you can order food, and then we have a big screen for events, sing-song stuff, all of that. And let's check out the main restaurant, shall we? Crew don't eat here, but this is where all the passengers have most of their meals. Occasionally I sneak in for a little buffet lunch. And let's go outside. So we have 7 decks. This was deck 4, where there are no cabins and where most of the activity happens. And then on deck 5 is where you can exit. I'll walk around on deck. And it's another beautiful evening. So if you want to do a lap of the ship, that's about 250 meters or so. And now, going up aft on deck 6, where we have the jacuzzis. I've actually never been in the jacuzzis, so maybe that's something I need to do before the end of the journey. And here we have deck 7, all the way at the top and the back. This is the viewing deck. So occasionally we invite guests up here if we're passing by something cool, a point of interest, to tell them about something or other. Usually in 2 languages, a bit of English and German. Sometimes we got to do it in like 4. Throw in a little bit of Francais. And here, no admittance for commoners. Give you all a bit of a behind the scenes look. Sunning / smoking area for the crew. Most guests have cabins. Sometimes in the summer though, you get some young hitchhikers and they usually just camp out here. And here we have the cafe area. And all the way in the front of the ship, in the bow, we have the panorama view bar. Yep, so that was most of the communal public spaces. And we can check out the bridge, perhaps. Er du her oppe for å... Har du puttet ut hatten for å tjene penger? I'm on the back deck of the old MS Finnmarken, so one of the old school ships from the 1950s. And now the whole ship is inside the Hurtigruten museum, so it's possible to see what the older generation ships were like. And the Hurtigruten museum is here in Stokmarknes, and the reason it is here is because this is like the birthplace of Hurtigruten, the Vesterålen Islands and Lofoten. Now, Hurtigruten has a long history. It's been sailing since 1893. And the guy who founded the company is this dude, Mr. Richard Witt. And he gave his name graciously to our ship, the MS Richard Witt. So Norway is a really long country, and the northern parts are just far away from everything, and it's stormy here in the winter, it's dark. So if you wanted to, well, one thing is just travel up here, but if you want to send a letter, it might take several months in the winter time. But these waters, to be able to connect this part of Norway with the south, so that all the fishermen here with their Arctic cod could get their stuff to market, that was why this boat started sailing, and it's been doing that for 132 years. 10 and we just left the port of Brønnøysund, which marks right in the middle of Norway. And this morning we crossed back across the Arctic Circle, so now south, no longer in the Arctic. And ironically, that's when we get gray weather like this after several days of just blue skies and gorgeous weather north of the Arctic Circle.
We just got a message and we can see some whales on the starboard.
Wait! Whales! Go! Go! Day 11, and for the first time in months, we just heard the bridge has sighted whales. But I can't see no whales! Oh, we just left Trondheim and we're sailing down south, and later today we're going to be in Kristiansund and then Molde, so making our way back towards the west coast. But show me some whales! Ooh, I got it! Alright, I caught a blow far behind us, but didn't quite make it out. Couldn't catch it on film. But still, that's one whale for the tour. So here we are in Kristiansund, which is our main stop on day 11. And it's a little bit rainy today. So I just finished my last ever lecture. I think I'll be back maybe just filling in, freelancing a little bit, so I can still make some new talks. I have other topics I'd like to cover. So I just gave a talk now about Viking voyages and talking about my grandparents who actually sailed on a replica Viking ship. So I'm quite lucky. I have a lot of relevant and story-worthy personal connections to be able to use in these talks. But generally, that's the key. Make it as personal as possible. Makes it more interesting to talk about and much more interesting for people to listen to when it's not just generic about some theme, but you know, an actual, something you actually know something about, a personal angle. And I'm currently talking to Hurtigruten about coming back as a Chinese guy. We're trying to get some more large Chinese groups to come over. So perhaps the next chapter is freelancing, taking care of big Chinese groups, doing talks for them, and also just dealing with the logistics on board. I did that once before. Good fun for me, the group seemed to like it, and it really helped out the crew, because I think they find it quite stressful to have to deal with the sort of linguistic and cultural issues that can happen when you have a large group from any country, but especially one that's as different from Norway as the Chinese one. So fingers crossed that we sort something out there. So I will be back.